This is firefighter Cruz. He's kind of doing one of our morning equipment checks that we do every morning when we start shift, just to make sure everything's ready for the day.
First, we're gonna start. What is your name?
Dan.
Dan.
Yep.
How long have you been working in this station?
At this station since 2013, so about 12 years.
Dang.
Okay.
Have you been affected by the government shutdown at all?
Nope. Fire still happens, fire still needs to go out.
Yeah.
We're one of those, we can't really be necessarily affected by that, we're essential, so.
How do you guys work together as a team?
How do we work together as a team, Mark? I'd say pretty good. No.
Yeah, a little bit of everything.
Yeah, a little bit of
This
everything.
is firefighter Streff.
Hi. Yeah, thank you for coming.
They're asking how we work together as a team. I'd say
There's generally, we think about it as a vocation as well, like there's some kind of calling in order to serve and take care of people. So there's just kind of a general warmth with firefighters. So if you ask about helping people, it's just kind of in our nature that we enjoy helping not only our communities, but if someone on the department needs something, we're more than happy to help out in those cases.
So when you guys work in like a fire station, do you guys typically like have to do something like every day? Because I know like there's not really a lot of like big emergencies that happen every day.
Right,
But, like
yeah.
things still happen.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
we have our daily duties. So we have daily things we have to get done every day, which is like check our pumps, make sure our gear is there, everything's kind of squared away, everything's ready to go. We check the ambulance, we check the fire truck, the ladder, all that kind of stuff. Then we have cleaning that we do every day. So we go around, we clean the station. We have a daily, and then we have, every day you go clean the bathrooms, clean the kitchen, that kind of thing. But then we also have like clean the conference room on Tuesdays, that kind of thing. Take the trash out.
And this is firefighter Amy Ritchie. She's our
Good morning.
Good morning.
other crew member for today.
What is the difference between an EMT and a paramedic?
Oh, I can answer this one.
Go ahead, Dan.
About 18 months of schooling. So I'm an EMT and he's a paramedic.
We read like cardiac monitors. We can intubate people. I don't. How many EMTs do we have on the department? Four. Yeah. Okay, so Dan's going to be going in January. We have a couple that will remain EMTs. It's not mandatory, but it's preferred.
You have a better chance of getting hired somewhere as a paramedic.
Yeah. And on certain calls, like Dan and I are working today, if we have like a cardiac event, to say a full arrest where somebody is unresponsive, the engine will respond with us, would have more paramedics, where it's just more things to do on a call for a paramedic where Dan can't help out with that, or we need 2 paramedics on scene for our calls. You can help. But
If you think of the type of emergencies that we can see any day, we will get called out for stuff that most people would never think of actually calling 911 for, because it might be very minor, but to somebody at the time, they're having an emergency. So it doesn't matter what it is, we're gonna show up and take care of the situation for that person, no matter what the incident is.
So I was looking at your guys' page and I saw that you like recently became captain like 2020 or like no wait 2021. I think. So how's that been? How's that been for you, being like fire chief?
Well, as the progression of rank goes, we have the firefighters, and then the company officers are the captains. So basically, we have 3 captains here at the fire department, 1 on each shift, and then we basically are in charge of the crew and the shift each day. And then the 2 chiefs, we have an assistant chief and then a fire chief. So you kind of got the tiers of rank.
How's it been for you?
For me, it's been a change after 30 plus years working as a paramedic on an ambulance every day. I don't work on the ambulance anymore. I only ride the fire truck, which the little kid in me still is good with that every day.
How do you guys handle like false alarms?
false alarms?
Show up. False alarms, they happen a lot. So you come in each day, just knowing that it's a possibility that it happens. We'll respond just like any other call. We take it seriously until we know that it's not. Then we just handle the situation. We find out whether it's burned food that caused the alarm, whether it's just a faulty smoke detector or a carbon monoxide detector.
iPhone crash detection.
Yeah, iPhone, new technology is iPhone crash detection, so specifically on the ambulance.
How do you guys stay calm during emergencies?
Oh, good shoulder shrug. It's like anything else. It takes practice. It takes communication with, I'd say, internal communication with yourself to see what you're comfortable with and what you're not comfortable with. And then it takes some external communication with your colleagues, with other mental health professionals.
I always say is even like being calm is treat your patients how you would want to be treated. every, like if somebody is in a crisis or if you have a crabby person, per se. But just, we always say, treat your patients like you would want to be treated as well. So
Yeah, no-
stay calm, try to stay calm.
Yeah,
Are you all driving at this point?
Yeah.
First time driving a car by yourself. Was that terrifying or exciting?
No, I mean I was kind of fine with it.
It's kind of pumped about it, but it's like you're driving along, but you're still, I mean, the difference between your first time driving and your 10th time or your 15th time
Yeah.
driving by yourself in the car, you get a little more relaxed and suddenly you find yourself changing the radio station and eating a sandwich. You get a little more comfortable with it, you get a little more attuned to it, you get a little bit better at it, so it's basically that.
And you had asked before about helping one another. I think we can all remember maybe the first critical call that we were on, and you kind of have that deer in the headlights look. But we were always here to help one another when we were here to get down on anyone. And we fail just like anyone else, and you just got to learn from those mistakes, and you move along. And like I said, it just becomes second nature.
Going off of what you said about like critical calls, I was gonna ask you guys, your time on like the fire force and like working for the fire station, what has been like, if you guys are like comfortable like sharing, what has been your guys' more like serious or like you said critical times, and how did you kind of deal with your experience with it?
Well,
For me, I've been doing this for 20 plus years. I really didn't find it hard for me before I was a mom. And now that I'm a mom, every time I have a child that is in, let's say a car accident or whatever, or something bad happened to a child, I take it more personal, especially when I have a child that's the same age. So I would say those kind of calls are tough for me, but I learn to deal with them afterwards by speaking to whoever I need to speak with, if it's a coworker or if it's a mental health profession or whatever.
What motivates you to like, keep coming and like, showing up as a firefighter every day? And what do you wish that people knew more about firefighters?
questions? Yeah, very good.
I've worked a lot of different jobs, and this is the only one that every day it's something completely different for the most part. You go to different people, different problems, different areas, that kind of stuff. I sitting at a desk just isn't my idea of a good time. I mean, you get to come into work, you get to help people, you get to hang out with good people, you get to drive cool fire trucks.
For me, it's all about helping people. I've always been in the healthcare business. I worked in a nursing home. I worked in a hospital. I've done housekeeping in a nursing home. But I've also worked in a restaurant. I've worked at a gas station. And to me, this is more rewarding. I can help people, and it's different every day. Is it a tough job? Absolutely. Especially for me being a female. It's, I'm not tall. Hey, can you reach that for me? It's every single day I have to do that, But when you work with amazing people, they're here to.
Similar for me, I think and you guys think it's different every single day. I like a sense of consistency. So I do find that there's a consistent inconsistency
Yeah.
to the day. So we will come in, there's a shift that comes off, we will come in, we get to spend some time with them, we get to have our coffee. There's kind of this consistent morning that can break with calls if that's required. But generally speaking, we do have some consistency throughout the day. But the tasks that we get to do are different. Even the cleaning, Sunday through Saturday, it's different cleaning we're doing. So that keeps me interested. I can certainly chase the butterflies if I get a little bit, or if I get a little distracted.
Then what was the more like serious or chaotic situations you've been in as the time on like the fire team?
And Mark's
Oh boy, he could probably have like 10 calls.
plane crashes.
Or
Yeah.
like at least like like some of the more that you remember that were like really serious and kind of like tough to deal with.
Or you can remember most of them.
Well, yeah, you do. I mean, I've been to several plane crashes over the years, not, jumbo jets or anything, but it's still a spectacular type of call that we don't go to that often. So those stick out. Certain fires that, I can remember every time I've helped carry somebody out of a fire. That doesn't happen that often for most firefighters, that they get what we call it, they call it making a grab, where you're getting a person and you're carrying them out. But a couple of those over my career, those definitely stick out, and I remember those. And probably one of the biggest things that I find is thrilling, and a lot of firefighters and paramedics are a little iffy with, is I love to deliver babies.
Oh yeah.
I've probably delivered 7 babies over the years. Some of them are, at this point, are older than all of you. That's how long ago I started delivering babies in the field. So that's actually really for me, that's a cool thing. We see enough death and destruction in this business, but to have a new life come into your hands as the first person to touch that life is pretty cool.
How do you guys provide help to people when there is like a language barrier between you and them? I have a question.
I love Google Translate. We also have like
A lot of times we'll have family members there, maybe a family member speaks English and can translate for us. We do that probably most of the time, or a neighbor or somebody that speaks English.
It's amazing what like an 8-year-old
Yeah.
in a household of immigrants will do. So you think you're just a young kid, but they speak English better than.
kids looking up what mom says no.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Great.
Yeah,
And we have cops that speak different languages,
Yeah.
like, that's helpful. We actually have a firefighter that does sign language. He doesn't work every day, but he's just a phone call away probably too,
Yeah.
you know.
So I know you guys do like a lot of things with like the community, like how you guys just did like a Halloween thing in October. Why do you guys like providing for the like community, or like how is that rewarding for you to like give back, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of nice to be able to see everybody when it's not an emergency.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it helps the community trust in their services. 'Cause we do a lot of those community events with the police, and when the people come to those, they get to see us as people, not as the uniform necessarily, or in an emergency when their stress level is not good. So it definitely builds community trust.
So every time that we have the trucks, we have to plug them in when we come back to the station. They all have an air ride system in them, so they're all hooked up to the air compressor, and then they also have a ton of electronics, so we also have them hooked up to electrical just so things don't run short. Fire trucks have no keys. Anybody know why? You ever lost your keys? I don't want to lose keys to this. So they all have buttons and switches that turn them on, and then so you got power on, ignition, start truck, and then there's buttons up here to put it into drives. As far as the trucks go, this one is it's the only ladder truck we have in the city anymore. We used to have one down south that was a stick. It didn't have the company to the morning. So you'll have the driver, and then captain always rides shotgun, and then firefighters will ride in the back. So in the back, you'll have air packs built into all the seats, and this one doesn't have a bottle in it right now, but I'll pull it out. The air packs are just built like a backpack into the seats. So once you have all your gear on, you can sit down, put the shoulder straps on, put the seat belt on, and then just when you are ready and have the fire, you just stand up and you've got your air pack on, so you can breathe within the fire. So with all of our gear on, so with the pants, the jacket, the hood, the gloves, the mask, the air pack, and the tool, you run about an extra $100. So.
Careful.
I remember high school backpacks. It ain't that much heavier than a high school backpack. But nowadays we are going with battery. So. So this is the cutter. So we would get that around like the pillar where the seatbelt is, and between that and this guy, we can basically take most sedans down to parts you can carry away by hand in about half an hour. So we actually keep all of our fire gear on the truck. So if we're out on a medical and a fire goes out, we can respond quickly with this and then just work off the fire. So Mike and Mark are on the. So we have basically little mobile field units, little mobile hospitals. We've got everything from IVs to trauma supplies, tourniquets, Band-Aids, bandages, splints, everything airway. So nasal airways, oral airways, intubation, that kind of stuff. Like I said, we can do IVs, blood sugars, blood pressures. We can check people's heart rhythms. We can shock them. We can do all kinds of stuff. So we have a full kitchen. Every shift has their own fridge. We all have little pantry spaces, dishwasher, sink, all that kind of stuff. Stove to make food, table to eat at, and then we've got chairs for, end of the night when you're winding down, that kind of thing. Full is 4. So that's just meeting room. I mean, there's calls you go on for sick people and you come back and you don't want to eat anything.
Right.
This is training room, also conference room, meeting room, stuff like that. This is Christine. She is the official secretary and assistant to the fire chiefs and the runner of all of our fantasy football leagues. So,
Who's winning?
I don't know. Yeah, it's her.
Oh.
Captain's office. And then everybody's got a bedroom. So, we have 4 bedrooms on this wall, and the captain's bedroom is on the. Everybody gets their own locker, and then there's the bed, and you got a pager which wakes you up in the middle of the night. So we got a little gym and locker room and all that kind of stuff. So it's called a supply line. So we have really long supply line hoses, so they're a larger diameter hose that will hook up to the fire hydrant. And that's got 600 feet of 4-inch hose on it.